Hi guys, Blake and Levi here today with Lilley's Landing Resort and Marina on beautiful upper Lake Taneycomo. It is Sunday, January the 3rd of 2021, and we are going to do the one cast today. So today we boated up here. We're just about 7,500 yards above the boat ramp over on the south bank where this giant sycamore tree fell in the water. It's about 48-50 degrees outside. It's going to be a little warmer for the next couple days. They're running 2 units of water. They just dropped it to 98 megawatts, so just like almost just a little less, I guess. 2 megawatts less than 2 units. And today we're gonna drift some jerk baits on the drift rigs here. So I've got the 606 Violator that we sell up in the shop. It's kind of got a violet tint to it, kind of fades to silver, got a black back. That's on 2.5 foot of 4 pound Trilene XL extra strong green line. It's got an 1/8 ounce weight on a size 12 snap swivel sliding up and down the line with a size 12 barrel swivel to stop it. Levi is using the 606 Invader. It's kind of a goldish yellow color. It's also got a black back on it. Whoop, don't do that. And he's got all the same equipment there that I do. And we're gonna try dragging these. RG cast all the way over by me. All right. We got a little bit of a wind blowing east here, kind of slowing the boat down a little bit, so I'm gonna have to make some small adjustments here today. Quite a few people here on the lake today. We have a gentleman who's staying with us, fishing off the dock this morning. Said he did real well on, I think he said a sculpin and orange jig with an orange head. I think, yeah, he said he's using tri-olive as well. Caught a bunch of fish off the dock this morning. Oh, there's one. That only took a few seconds. That, if I can get it in the boat, would be a fish on the first cast. If he doesn't get tangled up in Levi's line there. All right, hand me the net. He's gonna throw the hook. He's gonna do it. Yay! A fish on the first cast. Oh, where are my pliers? Okay. We had a few boats out on the water today, and everybody's reported catching some fish. Nobody's gotten skunked, so count that as a win in my book. All right, nice healthy rainbow there. And so a boat that just came back a second ago said that they did good on jigs this morning. Then they switched to red garlic power eggs, caught some other fish, and the gentleman's son caught a 20-inch rainbow on a white jig just a little bit ago. One of our pontoon boats that was out just came back, said that they caught some fish drifting night crawlers up around the Short Creek area. Ooh. That wind is a little wicked today. Had another gentleman and his girlfriend, I believe, were staying with us. They had their boat down here for the last couple days. He said yesterday they did the best doing this right here, dragging some jerk baits. and that this morning for them the jig bite was really good. The first thing this morning. Yesterday Levi and I went fishing after work, and well, the bite was a little slow, but in a couple hours we wound up catching about 10 fish, and we caught half of them dragging jerk baits and the other half, well, a couple of them on big jerk baits on the 110 model, and the other couple on jigs. Dwayne and Uncle Brother Dave and Jack Roy Harris and his two boys Dylan and Blake were all out on the lake yesterday, and they also said it was a little slow. They started their morning off down by the landing with minnows under indicators, and they did very well. Dwayne said that there is a good amount of really good sized rainbows down by the landing right now, and they were doing well on minnows under indicators, under bobbers, about 2 to 4 foot deep, and I want to say they were probably behind the fish house fishing with those. So something I haven't tried out here is minnows under an indicator. That might be worth giving a try down there by the landing. Other than that, I think they were catching some fish on jigs as well. Yesterday, this area we started in, right up there by that tree, down all the way to Lookout Point Island, was the area where we caught the most fish on these, dragging these jerk baits. So that is why I started here. I might go ahead and sit down before I throw myself out of the boat. Both of these 606 models are ones that we carry over in the shop. They're the cheaper models, about $5 a piece. Don't hurt quite as bad to lose as the Signature Series does. But yesterday was a real overcast day. It was snowing on and off all day, and the French Pearl was the one I was dragging yesterday in the Signature Series, and it was working pretty well. But I did lose two of them, and it hurt my feelings. I didn't take the chance to drift these below Lookout Island. I imagine that they would also have done well there. But I will say that there's kind of a... Man, I'm not doing a good job on the trolling motor today. Right where we started a second ago, there's a seam created by that big tree in the water, and we were just kind of right on the outside edge of that seam where the water drops off a little bit. And it seems to be a good spot to drag just about anything through, not just jerk baits. Just a good seam to fish in general. Right now I'm trying to keep the boat moving downstream just a touch faster, and also keep the boat on the same line. The wind's kind of blowing up and blowing us out, so I'm using the trolling motor to push us down and then push us back to the inside periodically here. This next section we're coming up on right now, we're drifting past the Trophy Run Island, and then we'll be in the Trophy Run section of the lake. This section seems to be just a really good area for dragging jerk baits as long as the water's running fast enough. The water moves through there so fast that it actually kind of, there's no gravel or anything there, it's just straight bedrock, and so the food source is a little different there, but the jerk baits seem to work good going through there. So I imagine that they do see maybe more bait fish swimming through that area and less scuds and, you know, different types of insects and stuff. That wind is really kicking through there.
They have sailboats.
I wouldn't be surprised if I'm all hooked up in your line. Are you? Something I like to make sure of when I'm dragging these across the bottom is that my line is primarily straight out from the end of my rod tip. If it's going too far that direction or too far that direction, the bait's not working as good as it should be. If it's having to get pulled too much to the side, the bait won't wiggle like it's supposed to. So I always try to make sure it's kind of straight out from my rod tip. And this wind is not helping our cause any at all. It's a really strong wind. It's kind of slowing the boat down almost too much. As you're dragging this across the bottom, we are getting to that time of the year where a lot of the moss is getting cleared out, dying and getting pushed down the lake. But still, you're still going to hit patches, and you still want to make sure that that you're checking that thing every few minutes at least. I mean, if you can feel it wiggling fine, then you probably don't need to check it, but if something changes and it doesn't feel like it's quite as active as it was, you need to pull it in and check that out. Because those fish really do not like salad with their main course. Woo! Almost slid off the seat.
I'm still down how many times now?
I don't know. It's not my day for stableness. They are slowing the water down a bit. I was looking at my phone periodically through the day at the water generation, and they had bumped it up into the 7,000 range, and over the last couple of hours they've been slowing it down really slowly, but it went from like 110 or 11 megawatts, now it's at 98. And so they might have dropped what they wanted out of Table Rock now, and they're taking her back down to that half unit. Don't quote me on that, but it is a possibility. Oop, there was a bite. I know that since they kicked the flow up, that I've seen a lot of fish on the bottom. Looks like they're rolling over and eating scuds, and I've heard a few reports from people like Captain Steve that the scud bite's real good. And anytime they change the current to faster, a lot of the time the fish really zone in on those scuds. They get broke loose from where they were hiding at, and they get washed down the lake, and so they become a pretty active food source for a while at least. So today will probably be another good day for drifting scuds under an indicator as well. Man, I might get that first cast curse going here. Catch one on the first cast and then not another bite afterwards. So this method's pretty simple. I think the biggest thing to drag and jerk baits is getting an idea of how they feel and knowing the difference between what they feel like and what the bite feels like. And so a good rule is if you think you got a bite, kind of just set the hook a little bit. It's really not going to hurt you to set the hook. If there was a fish following it and it kind of jerks away from them real fast, they might take that instinctively as they need to go ahead and chase after it and grab it again before it gets away from them. So if you think you got a bite, set the hook, and if you think something's wrong, pull it in and check it. Those are two great rules when dragging jerkbaits, because they do feel, whenever they're dragging across the bottom, it does feel a lot of the time like you're getting a bite. But it just takes a little practice. Oh. Yesterday, this is about the same time in the afternoon that we were out here fishing, and they were definitely a little more active on this jerkbait dragging. But that's just how fishing goes. Huh?
Ryan caught a big crappie.
Did he? Yeah. Wonder where he's at. Wonder if they went down by the landing. How's it going? Do what?
Beads, San Juan, and scuds.
Beads, San Juan, and scuds, huh?
Beads probably doing a little bit better than the...
Yeah? What color bead?
White and peach.
White and peach?
White is a little bit...
So the plastic trout beads or the egg patterns?
Plastic trout beads. I peg them above
Yep. Very good.
Drifting up.
Yeah, we're doing the one cast. We're drifting the jerk baits.
Okay.
We did pretty good on them yesterday.
Man, I love your one cast. I tell you.
Thank you.
Thanks for doing that. That's incredible. To be able to watch that every day. When I have to go home, I can live vicariously through you.
Well, we have fun getting to do it. Oh, I had a bite. These trout, though, when they hit these jerk baits, they'll kind of come up on it and they'll tag it a few times real fast if they don't get the hook. And just those subtle differences you pick up on after doing it for a while. What's that say? Oh, we got time. We go for another 5 minutes. Go down here around the corner, down in below Lookout Island just a little bit and see if they're tagging the jerkbait a little different down there. That's definitely something else to pay attention to when you're doing this. Is there'll be sections of the lake where they're on fire for the jerkbait dragging, and there'll be sections where they just don't want anything to do with it. So find out what's working best in each section and have a rod set up for it, and just through your whole drift, you know, drift through the area where they're biting the scud the best, and then switch over to the jerkbait where they're biting the jerkbait the best, or the jig, or whatever they're biting. You just gotta catch them how they want to be caught if you want to catch fish. I think that this would probably work a little bit better today if the wind wasn't pushing the boat so far back upstream. It's kind of slowing down the action on the bait here.
When we go by here, right? Yeah.
Okay, that's gotten a little too far to the side there. This section of the lake is real tricky to keep a straight drift in. As the current gets faster and pushes around the island, then this big eddy swirls the water, and it can be a bit of a challenge. Keep your bait drifting straight. You know, like it's already cranking over to the right side even just right after I casted it out there. Those guys were saying up there that between the three things they've been drifting, that the white and peach trout beads had been doing the best. The trout beads are something that we did just start becoming a distributor or carrier of, rather, up in the shop. And I have played around with them a little bit, and I've caught some fish on them. So they definitely do work. We've got the rainbow mating season coming up here, where the males and females will be dropping their eggs in the spawning beds. So those are going to be good places where those trout beads will definitely work. And I know that a few of the females we've caught already have been spitting their eggs out, and a few of the males have been milking. So there's definitely some little bit of pre-spawn going on there, and they will start keying in on things like that a little more as it gets closer to season there. You want to go for 2 rods at a time?
I don't think it really matters.
You want to try it?
Yeah.
Here, hold still. I'm going to throw this other one out for Levi and make him hold 2 rods at a time. Just for fun.
No, Lilley.
Ooh, mine started pulling away from me there. Alright, now we got 3 rods in the water. And the bait on the end of that one is the same model, 606, except we call it the jailbird. It's just black and silver with black horizontal stripes. Got one?
Yeah.
Here, I'll take this rod.
Oh my goodness. Oh boy. What have we got?
I've got that rod sitting behind you there. I'm going to turn the camera action on you.
Don't do that.
Well, if we get a mess, I want to see it on camera.
Oh, it's on camera.
Here, duck down and step underneath that line. There you go. There we go.
Oh, we got it.
That one over there is probably going to get all caught up in that tree. Did you lose him?
I think I lost him.
Oh, you did lose him.
Man.
Darn it. Alright. Swing and a miss on that fish. Oh, that rod was getting a bite. Turn it a little bit more towards me. Yep, right there. Face it up. Perfect. Got it.
As soon as you get 3 rods in the water.
Oh yeah, always.
Some things start happening.
Got one on that one? Is he still there? Alright, Levi's getting action back there. Oh, now your other one's hooked up on the bottom. Here, let me see that one. Sometimes you can point the line straight at where it's hooked up and pinch it right here and hold it tight, and you'll get that jerk bait back. It doesn't work all the time, so don't think it's a guarantee, but sometimes you can, and I think I got it back that time. Sometimes they're just hooked right on the top of the moss, just enough moss to hang them up, just like that one there. You want to keep going for the 2-rod method? It's definitely entertaining nonetheless. Keep you real busy. There you go. Have fun. Well, the fish are jumping right behind us.
Says you need to go to the gym.
Finally got out of the wind, got the baits working a little bit better. Seem to be getting a few more bites. But I think I'm going to call it there. So we thank you guys for watching today. Like and share us on Facebook. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. And we'll do it for you again tomorrow, guys. Thanks. just never know. Just never know when you're going to turn the camera off too soon. As soon as I pressed the button to turn the camera off, I hooked into a fish. So, figured I'd turn it back on here. Oh! And I didn't even get to show him to the camera. Also, I hit the jerkbait against the boat there and snapped the bill off. So, alright, that was it, guys. Thanks.